Hi everybody, this is Boogas Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Neca Ultimate TV Series Chucky figure. So before we take a look at Chucky, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with a set of open hands. Up next, he comes with an alternate middle finger right hand. Love this accessory. Up next, he comes with accessory holding hands. Up next, he comes with his bundle of syringes. I like to keep this in the left hand because it does stretch it out very slightly. But these look very nice. The tips of the syringes there are very thin though, so I'd definitely be careful when putting this in his hand because they feel very fragile. Up next, he comes with this knife. It looks really good, but I do wish there would have been some blood painted over top of it. Up next, he comes with his alternate damaged head and arm, and this looks really nice. The sculpt and paint detail to the damaged side of his face looks phenomenal. Especially right here. This almost looks like it's one piece with the arm, but it's not. It's two separate pieces. It's a head and an arm piece. But even just the detail over top of his shirt right here, and even just the back of his hand looks great. The only complaint I have is this blue joint right here. That is very noticeable. It actually did have some paint over top of it, but the second I moved it, it just chipped away. I do wish that joint would have been cast in black or something to make it a little less noticeable. But other than that, these look very awesome. Up next, he comes with his screaming head sculpt, and this looks very nice. Neca did an amazing job at sculpting and painting this. The print detail on his eyes, freckles, and eyebrows, even his printed on eyelashes look very nice. And he has some really nice paint variation to his hair. You can see it on top. It's like a weird kind of blonde color, and then it fades into that red color. So yeah, that looks very nice. And finally, he comes with this evil grinning head sculpt. And this is my favorite head sculpt to leave on this figure because it looks very awesome. It's a little unsettling. So Neca did a very, very awesome job at sculpting that. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the figure. From what I can tell, I believe this is the previous Child's Play Chucky body mold just reused. It is painted a lot better, though, when compared to the previous versions. Here you can see on the coveralls, you can barely see the Good Guys logo, and the little patterns on there aren't painted as well. But on this new version, the pattern is painted very well, and you can make out the Good Guys wording. That looks really good. I like the brighter color scheme and the way you can tell what it says a lot better on this version. The pattern on his shirt is also done very well, but just like with that alternate arm, you can see that the paint is chipping off of this, and it's a bright blue color. It's about the same color as his coveralls here, and yeah, that is very noticeable. I do wish that the paint would have stayed on there a little bit better. The first time I moved this, the paint just moved up and chipped off, so that does suck. It's a very tiny detail, but the stitching on the back here is actually painted and sculpted on very nicely. And his shoes are even painted well. This is just painted a lot better than the previous Chucky figures. Which, it is a slightly different design, but I still think this one is sculpted and painted a lot better than the previous versions. So now let's go ahead and go over his articulation. So he has a ball-jointed neck that can look up very slightly, can look down very slightly. This uses the same neck system as the previous Chucky figures, so it does hinder it just a little bit. He can move side to side very slightly. Due to the hair, it does get in the way. He has shoulders that can move out that far. He has single jointed elbows that can just about bend in all the way. He has swivel wrists that can move side to side and up and down, though these pegs are very tiny, so they do feel very fragile. He has a ball-jointed diaphragm that can move back very slightly, forward very slightly, and side to side pretty nicely. He has hips, and these use the old style of hips from Neca, so they didn't even update the hips on this figure. But he can do a complete split. He can kick forward that far. He can kick back just a little bit. He has a very slight thigh swivel, single-jointed knee that can actually bend back all the way, swivel ankle that can move down very slightly, up very slightly, side to side, and an ankle rocker. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the original Ultimate Chucky figure. Here he is next to the Walmart exclusive Bride of Chucky version of himself. Here he is next to the 2-pack Bride of Chucky version of himself. Here he is next to the McFarlane version of himself, with that real hair, and that does look kind of funny. And finally, there he is next to Tiffany. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up because NECA knocked it out of the park with this Ultimate. This is easily my favorite Chucky figure that NECA has done. And as you saw from my size comparisons, they have done a few of him. So yeah, definitely don't miss out on this. This is a really awesome figure. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.